Okay, so this is the question from assessment A number 1, and this was the question. It says, what's the domain of the function? This little notation you may or may not have seen before. So these little funky brackets usually mean set, and this says x such that x does not equal these things. So this is a fancy way of saying, just saying that x cannot equal these. It says x such that x does not equal these, and that's how they're describing the domain. So for all of these, they're describing the domain as what it can't be, like we do a lot of the time, right? We describe it as what it can't be rather than what it can be, because usually there's more numbers that it can't be than it can be. So, or more numbers that it can be than it can't be. So it's easier to rate the ones that we're eliminating, right? And so how do you find the domain of a rational function? Basically what you're doing is you're looking for what makes the denominator 0, because you can't have a 0 in the denominator of a fraction. So what do I do to find the domain? Well, I'm going to find the numbers that I have to kick out of the domain by figuring out what makes the denominator 0. So you did this when you were looking for vertical asymptotes, when you were looking for holes, when you're looking for excluded values. All of those things, you're kind of doing the same exact thing. You're setting the denominator equal to 0 and seeing what values it comes out to be. So if I'm going to start this one, I'm going to try to factor it first and hope that it factors. So I know it has to be a 2 and a 1. This one would have to be positive because this is positive. And of course, then we just set these equal to 0. And we get x is equal to 1 and x is equal to negative 2. And that's what makes the denominator 0. So although that's what this is equal to, when we set this equal to 0, what we really want to say, and if we want to use our fancy set notation, it's x such that x does not equal 1 or negative 2. Now, normally they're going to set it in numerical order, so they're going to write it this way, I'm sure. And then we take a look at our answers, and we see that that is number or letter D.